I'm Leigh Pafford for HomeTowne TV News. We're here at the Unitarian Church in Summit where we have been invited to a very special occasion. It is the church's first legal same-sex wedding. Let's take a look. I'm joined by the soon-to-be Mrs. and Mrs. Waldachewski. So congratulations, ladies. I understand that this is your second time at the altar, but this time is a little bit different. Tell me about that.
It's true. So we got a civil union last March, on March 16th, 2013 in Lambertville, New Jersey. But tonight we will be officially married by a dear friend who also officiated our civil union back in March. So we now finally have the legalities that will go with the ceremony.
And what does that mean for you as a family?
It's very exciting to be recognized officially. I mean, we made our commitment to one another in March, and that was a very, very special day for us. But I think it's really important to have it recognized by the state.
Absolutely, and I'm sure you were overjoyed to hear that Chris Christie had decided to withdraw his appeal earlier during the first week of people being able to get same-sex marriage certificates and licenses. I understand that there are still some hiccups that will need to be fixed. What was it that you said earlier about your wedding, your marriage license?
Well, officially on the paperwork, I am the groom. So Mrs. and Mrs., but still not yet on the paperwork.
So it's going to take a little bit of time to iron all those things out. But what made you decide to come and have another ceremony? Like you said, you are already married. You've made a commitment to each other and in front of the church, but now you're doing so legally. But why the ceremony?
Yeah, this is really important for my community here. I'm one of the ministers here at the Unitarian Church in Summit, and they have been such an enormous support, not only to us as a couple, but to the LGBT community as we seek for equal rights, as well as continuously being inclusive of LGBT people and their families for decades now. We were one of the first denominations to do so. So this is really an opportunity for all of us to celebrate. We kept our in March. We only had about 55 guests to our ceremony. So now we get to celebrate with everyone and everyone who's been a part of our life and supported us throughout this time.
I'm with Stephanie Kirshner, one of the ministers who will be officiating over the ceremony tonight. Stephanie, what does it mean for you to be able to join two friends in legal and holy matrimony?
It's an absolute honor and a blessing. And you know, when we did this ceremony in March, all of us were emotional wrecks because we knew how powerful and important and meaningful it was. But the drawback, obviously, was the fact that it wasn't legally recognized in New Jersey as marriage. And it's two people who love each other so very much and should be together and honored as a married couple, as wife and wife. And so today, even though it's only 8 months later, it's still a wonderful renewal of vows and a wonderful celebration on this wonderful week of a momentous occasion in New Jersey. So I am completely honored to officiate over this holy, wonderful occasion.
And we see now with New Jersey now legalizing same-sex legal marriages that there are now a third of the states in the United States that do allow same-sex marriages. Do you think that this is something that we will see across the board in our lifetimes?
I would hope so. I would really hope that this would affect all 50 states in our lifetimes. I mean, that's a significant prayer of mine and a hope of mine, and something that is lifted up amongst my colleagues as well.
And Tara and Kim have renewed their promises to one another in the presence of all gathered here. Therefore, I get to say something that I didn't get to say in March. By the power vested in me, by the state of New Jersey, I pronounce you wife and wife.
This was a very exciting evening. We were so glad to be invited, and we look forward to witnessing other same-sex ceremonies throughout the state now that it is legal. There are some other hurdles that the couples will have to get across legally, and we will be addressing those as they come up here at HomeTowne TV News. Thank you, and back to you in the studio.